Yo, welcome to my surgery update video, take two. That's right, I just filmed for like 30 minutes and it didn't work right. So here we go, take two. Just to let you know, today we're gonna be talking about blood bags, booty sweat, cut up boobies, nurses obsessed with penis, and blah blah blah. We're gonna talk about kind of like I'll do a recap on surgeries, why I got them, why I felt like it was for me. I'll let you know about the surgery day, tell you some stories about the nurses. I'll let you know the aftermath, how that felt, and what I went through. Let you know about my mental, like throughout the thing, where I'm at now with yesterday's follow-up visit, and then the plan moving forward with both me working out and stuff, like my diet and exercise, as well as the plan moving forward in general with whatever happened to my body. So, for those of you that are interested in hearing about my experience getting a tummy tuck and gyno gland removal, stick around. I'm Juan Gonzalez, just another gym guy, and I'm not certified in a goddamn thing pertaining to the gym. But we're not talking about the gym anyways, but we will. Yeah. All right. So let's talk why surgery. Sorry, I'm like not even centered. Anyways, all right, why surgery? What'd you do? So, like I said, tummy tuck, gyno gland removal. Why did you do that? We've seen pictures of you. You've got a six pack. I don't have a six pack. I have really good lighting. And yeah, so, anyways, I have like this tire of extra skin around me because I used to be super overweight at some point. And if I really want to have the physique that I want, I'd have to have that extra skin removed so that I can have all my abs showing. It wouldn't be like perfect lighting or anything. It would be like these guys that you see that just walk around, their abs showing. Because I hit 9% and I still it wasn't working the way that I thought that it should. So I wanted to get that extra skin cut off. Gyno gland removal. Gyno glands is literally, when they say man boobs, like that's not a joke. You can have man boobs. Go through puberty, eat crap when you're younger. It probably works when you're older too, but like at some point, gain a lot of weight as a guy, your gyno glands are going to produce actual breast tissue. So think about that. Every time somebody like
Flip your titty,
like you've had to have seen guys do that to other guys, where they go up to them and they're
flip your titty.
like it's one thing when it's like a muscular dude and you do it to him and it's like a rock.
Fuck, they ain't flipping shit.
It's not obviously if you're not tensing it up, it's not a rock. But my point is like, if I'm in shape and you do that shit to me, not gonna affect me. If I'm teenage version of me, or whatever version that was overweight, like that shit fucks with you, or it fucked with me. It didn't help for my body dysmorphia. Like there were fights that probably happened because people thought like they were gonna do that shit to me, and I was not the person to do that shit to or fuck around with. Definitely in high school because of where I grew up. But this isn't about that. I just wanted to tell that story, like flicking a titty.
Titty. Better be careful with titty you're flicking.
Anyways, gyno glands, like, you can fact check me on this. I'm sure I'm messing this up, but like, from way high, million view down, gyno glands got something to do with the breast tissue that gets created. And guys get that. I had that. And I would notice, like, when I'm flexing and stuff at lower fat percentages, it was like a round little nodule, like, around my nipples, like on the outside, like literally breast tissue. Some people start getting it real bad. I didn't have it there, and I don't want to get it there because that's also stretching your skin out, and then you're going to remove them and have like skin bags. So yeah, tummy tuck, gyno gland, that's what I did. Now you know why? That's a little bit of an intro. Let's move on to the next section. The day of the surgery. Penis looking chicks. Wait, no. People staring at your penis. Part one, no. That will take place in this story. Being put to sleep and given drugs. Having your stomach ripped open. Whatever. Day of surgery. All right. What the fuck was I saying? So I get there to the office and they have like their little OR. Like you enter this one area and all of a sudden it looks like a freaking hospital, with the curtains and the beds and all the machines. So I get in there and the nurse that's with me was actually my second pre-op nurse. The second time I went in for a pre-op, that was her. So let me tell you about that. So the second time I went in for a pre-op, the nurse was like,
You're that guy. Oh, wow.
I'm like, what? And she's like, oh,
Us nurses, we, talk about the patients and
she was like digging the hole deeper. So I don't know what they were talking about me or what the first nurse said about me, but apparently I was that guy. And then cut.
Hurt my fucking toe right now. Ah, oof. I just punched down with my toe, and I felt my toenail went up. Alright, Let's keep going.
It hurts. This nurse. So yes, cut back to the surgery. She's all like, I'm gonna be your anesthesiast, like your main person that's with you during this whole thing. Take off your clothes, put on these little like weird baggy underwear things. So I did that. She went outside the curtain for that. That was the last time she went outside the curtain. The wait for the doctor to come. The doctor came. He came with like a surgery assistant, which was female, and so he starts drawing on me. And then he gets down to like down there, and he like pulls my shit. So like the first few inches are showing, and I just know because like so the doctor's like right in front of me, right, and then that one nurse is like right there, and the other one's behind the doctor. The one behind the doctor immediately goes like. The one that's right there is just like, like out the corner, like just dead. Like
I'm staring at what the doctor's doing. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not like staring at my dick. No, but let's give her the benefit of the doubt. She was staring at what the doctor was doing. All right. So, anyways, he gets done with his thing. They put me on the table. They were gonna roll me to the next room. The nurse rolls me to the next room. They've got that table in there that looks like a freaking cross because they're gonna strap my arms like literally like this. So she's joking about something. She says like she's just telling me like we're gonna do
We're gonna do that. I'm gonna start sedation. I'm gonna pull your pants off, but don't worry, that'll be after you're sedated.
and I was like, the fuck are you telling me? You're basically gonna roofie me? And like some people were laughing because I was just joking. But as I'm passing out, I hear one of the other nurses go like,
Wait, do we really have to pull his pants down?
that was like the last thing I heard before I fell asleep for this fucking crazy ass surgery. So whatever. I wake up, surgery's done. I'm ready in the compression suit. Um, I'm ready in the compression suit. The nurse is there. She like I was really out of it at this point. I don't know if she told me about the complication or she was like, you're fine, you're out of surgery or whatnot. I just remember she was like, do you have to go to the bathroom? And I was like, I do have to go to the bathroom. Oh, I forgot to mention beforehand, she told me I should empty my bladder. And we both went to the bathroom, but she went to a different bathroom and I went to a bathroom before the surgery. So this time I'm like, I do have to go to the bathroom. And I guess because I was on so much shit, she had to help me walk to the bathroom. But like, I guess they also have to go in there with you. And she just like straight up watched me like pee. Felt like I was taking a drug test. That's a whole nother story where I used to have to go to this place and fucking pee in front of someone every week for a few months. It wasn't me. That's something else we'll talk about some other time. But yeah, just like, like I guess you're just desensitized to this. Let's see. And the way they do it is I guess they don't give you pain med. Like they're relying on the anesthesia and the numbing shit. And you're supposed to go to the pharmacy or someone's supposed to take you to the pharmacy right afterwards. Sorry, I'm like burping because I was drinking a Ghost right now. The grape. The grape. Oh my God. Going through puberty and shit. My voice is cracking. I was drinking a grape. A grape Ghost. Because I hadn't seen one or had one, I guess. And then the other day I saw like Costco. Anyways, I got Ghost. I drank it and I'm burping and I'm sorry. Let's get back to the story. Pain meds, you gotta go get to that pharmacy like ASAP. Some stuff happened with my ride, and then to begin with, I live over half an hour away without work traffic from the pharmacy to the to get to the pharmacy from where the doctor was at. So that shit sucked. This girl like slipped me a pill. I don't know where it came from. Like she's just like,
I'm not supposed to give you pain meds, but take this pill.
so thank her. Whatever. I was like, I gave you a free show. Might as well give me something. And yeah, and then later I noticed, well, I guess I'll get to the garment from hell. So that was the surgery. So that was like kind of how it went because I was too loopy to find out what did go wrong. Spoilers, something went wrong. But that's the day of the surgery. All right, let's cut to day after the surgery, where you really begin to realize, did I just fuck up and make a mistake? Well, and not erasable for the rest of your life fucking mistake. So basically, this is what I find out. Oh, so I'm in a lot of pain. I did end up getting the pain pills, which make you feel nice and loopy, but you're still in a lot of pain. Like if you do a certain movement, it's an automatic 10 of pain. Like your body will just shut the fuck down. You're like, I'm gonna move. Whoop. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. That's what I'm talking about. So yes, there was pain. And then I also had this drain connected to me. Now, a drain is a blood tube coming out of your body and going to a little baggie. This is my blood drain. Now, the thing is, before we had this surgery, the doctor was very clear. He doesn't use drains. A lot of doctors do. He doesn't. So why the fuck do I have a drain? Well, apparently, I woke up during the surgery and tried to bust out of the hand thing like a fucking, like the Incredible Hulk. So I'm just like, ah! I don't remember any of that. And they were supposed to keep me asleep. And that's where I'm feeling about it. But yeah, so at whatever time I did that, I don't know what the surgeon was doing, but he sliced some muscle up in my chest. So now this side of my chest is bigger than this side, and they're saying it's just swelling, that it should go down, they should both be the same. They're saying. So this is day 2. So like day 2, I finally take off the compression stuff. I take off the wrappings, I take off the compression suit, I look in the mirror and kind of pretty much feel devastated. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't expecting that. My whole body looks jacked up. It literally looks like I never worked out before. Like, and the day before the surgery, I posted pictures. Like, I looked like I had a six-pack. Like I said in the intro, like, whatever, lighting. I know some people are like, it's not lighting, but like I was looking good. I liked it. I enjoyed the way it looked the day before. That's the whole goal of, like, I want to look like this whenever I take my shirt off. Wherever. And then to, like, take off all this stuff and, like, there's no muscle definition anywhere. It's crazy. Like, I body swapped with someone. There's no muscle definition on my torso. Like, a little bit of the chest stuff showing here. Like, if I was wearing something, I could still, like, you know, do the thing or whatever. I could still pose. There's a lot of lighting. I have lights everywhere because I was like, I'm not going to be posing. So, yeah, that's day 2. Just letting you know, when I took off the thing, found out that they sliced me, like, sliced my chest. Of course, that gets me worried because I'm like, what do you mean? Is this permanent? Later on, they're saying it's not permanent. And that's where I got to learn more about this guy. So this is a compression suit. I don't have the armband, the top parts that go right here, Velcro, so it looks kind of weird. But like, this is the zippers that would go up to here. And then check that out. It's got built-in shorts. Wow. And then check this out. It's got a giant hole in between the legs. So the way that shit works is you gotta put it on from the bottom up, pull your balls through, and your ding dong. And then it's also like your butt cheeks are also in that hole, just being like squeezed by the spandex or whatever the heck it's made out of. So that's one thing. And it is so uncomfortable because it's squeezing all that stuff down there. And like, it's uncomfortable. I gotta wear that for a month. And it's a pain. Like, you've got to take it all off and put it all on to do anything. And I need to like do stuff with this blood tube, which is going through the pant leg and hanging out the bottom. So how did the nurse put that on me? I'm a heavy dude. So yeah, I don't know. She had to, like, someone was searching my junk. But whatever, that's their job, to desensitize, I guess. I'm just saying, there's a lot of, like, penis jokes and penis touching going on in that surgery. And then something that I don't even know from whatever.
Like, oh, I know you're that guy. You're that guy. I heard about you.
So yeah, that thing sucks. So now we talked about that. We're still talking about day 2. I find out about that thing. Another thing about the compression suit, as I mentioned, it squeezes your butt cheeks together. I'm talking about it squeezes your butt cheeks together in a way that, like, no underwear are doing. No pair of pants are doing. You know what I mean? I've worn small ass pants. They ain't squeezing your butt cheeks in the manner that this quite does it. Man, it generates booty sweat that you've never had in your life. To add to the discomfort of everything else going on. I'm just telling you. I'll share it all on this show. I'm just telling you. It's not fun. It's not fun. Gotta get some, like, baby powder down there or something. So yeah, that was the booty sweat portion. You heard about the cut up boob. You heard about a little portion of the nurse thing. I forgot what else I said at the blood. You've seen the blood bag. Told you we were going to talk about all that. Like one of those Minecraft villagers. All right, so that was day 2. Now let's talk about more complications. Yes, so my follow-up appointment was 1 week from the surgery, but I ended up going in 3 days after the surgery because the drain wasn't filling up, and I was like, the drain wasn't draining. And that was a pretty good reason to go in and ask a bunch of other questions. So I went in about the drain, and there was 2 nurses helping me this time. One nurse was the original first pre-op nurse, the one who started
those vicious rumors about me.
that I have no clue what they are. She's the one that made me that guy. You're that guy. You're that guy. So she was one, and then another one I never saw before. So the one that had seen me before also was like the second one where, I mean, I guess she's just desensitized to everything. So I'm wearing some Youngless sweats. Shout out to Youngless sweats because their joggers, the open bottom joggers, are so comfortable. I'm wearing some Youngless sweats with that thing that I just showed you and like a looser shirt. Probably one of the Youngless looser shirts. I'm not quite sure which ones I was wearing. It doesn't matter. So I had to obviously take the shirt off. And then it's like, how's she going to get to this blood thing that's like, it's going through my pant leg? And she's like, oh, I got to get the whole damn thing. So she goes down right in front of me. Right in front of me. And she's like looking at the tube. And then she just starts pulling my pants down. And it's like, clearly I'm not going to be wearing underwear with these things. And so like she whoop right in her own face. And she's like, whoops. And then covers it back up. I'm just saying. There's a pattern here, isn't there? And so she was just like, take the shit off. And she just stood there while I took it off. And they gave me some of those like thin little short things that they did during the surgery. So I put those on in front of her. Meanwhile, the other nurse is doing the like, I'm not looking thing. And this one's just like,
Get naked in front of me now. Yes.
no fucks given. Like, all right. But yeah, they were able to work out like a clot that was in there. She was able to work it out, and then she cut a hole in the side of the garment on the thigh, so at least it could pop out of that thigh hole. I still basically have to take the whole thing off, but so she like bent down there, and like as I was wearing them, like cut the hole and put the bag through, and that's all she did down there. I swear. And that was about it for that. So, I mean, I asked a bunch of questions. They didn't give any great answers. The doctor came in and was just like, yeah, it's all normal. Because at this point, I was having a lot of normal pains, I guess, and normal fears. I had just had the surgery a few days earlier. All right. So you guys have heard all that. Let's cut to... Should we talk about how my mental was at this point? Or we'll talk about that at the end. 1 week follow-up. All right. So yesterday was my 1 week follow-up. I had a bunch of questions. Because I've gotten better at moving around without being in pain, I figured out this technique where you can roll, like, if you're laying on your back, you can roll onto your side with your arm there and kind of like push up. So like I'm not using my stomach to sit up at all, and I'm not bending in some weird way. So that's how I get up. But if I roll to the left, I start getting this crazy pain between my groin and my stomach. Like, I mean, level 10 grinding pain. And it makes no sense because I'm like, what did they do between my groin and my stomach? Like, the cut is above that. So that was one of the things I wanted to ask about. And then I also have like a nodule that I can feel above my new belly button. And that thing hurts sometimes. Not as bad as the bottom thing. The bottom thing, like once it gets triggered, like every movement down there starts hurting. I'm talking about like, ah. And don't even get me started. Like if you fucking gag or cough or sneeze, that shit will bust open. And I got allergies, and I'm starting to notice. That's funny. The first time I made this video, Alexa had to talk too. I got allergies and all this shit, and I'm noticing like, fuck, I choke on my own spit a lot. Like, I don't know if there's other people like this, but like, I have never noticed how much I choke on my own spit. I'm like, fuck, how dumb are you? Because like, I'll just start choking on it. And I'm trying not to like gag or cough because it's like, it literally feels like it's going to rip me open. I can't, it's beyond a level 10 pain. It's like, I'm standing here and if I sneeze, it gets all warm. So I don't know if I'm bleeding and I'm on the ground. Just boom. You know what I mean? Like shutting down C-3PO. I'm just like a ninja putting me to sleep. That was kind of a side tangent. Shit. But those pains are there and whatever. I had to ask him about that. And then I noticed I had something that looked like a freaking tentacle or like a vine coming out of the cut. And I'm like, the fuck is this? So then get to the doctor, talk to the doctor. It was the one nurse that was like being bashful and nice. She's the one that was in there. So she was being nice, even though her breath smelled like alcohol. And the doctor came in. Or I took off all my clothes. And there's this awkward thing where every time I had to take off my clothes, she just kind of sat at the computer and chilled. And I kind of just didn't take off my clothes. Like, it was just like, I just didn't. At one point, I was going to ask, like, are you offended if I take them off? Because I'll just take them. Like, I was so confused. So every single time I had to change, she would like, you can change. And there's just like awkward moments of like, are you going to leave or not? And then she would leave. So like one of the times she's like, you can change, and that awkward shit happened. Before she goes, she turns on the fucking AC, and it's a mini split. It's one of them ACs that are just like right there on the wall. It's blowing right at the chair thing I gotta sit on. I'm butt naked with just like a thin thing they gave me to put over my junk. Oh my gosh, I was sitting there dying. I was like, it's so cool. It's so cool. She came back and I did that. I'm not gonna complain about it. Maybe she was hot. I want to make her job harder. Maybe she's hot. Fuck, that's cold. And then finally she's like, let me know when you want me to turn off the AC. I'm like, now I'm freezing. Now, turn it off. Now I'm naked. That happened. But yeah, so the doctor came in and I'll just tell you what he told me. So that pain that I have on my groin or above my groin, like under the skin, really bad pain. Apparently that's the ends of the sutures. So the sutures are like thick wire string. Think about like a fishing rod wire, but like thick. These are really thick, dissolvable ones that are going through my abdominals. So like if my stomach was here, like my abs, there's two lines and they like sewed like this, just like a corset, and then pulled it. And so you have like however many sutures or strings hanging at the bottom, and they do whatever they do with that. And that's what's like above my penis is those. So the way I envision it is the tips of those are kind of like pointed up towards my skin. And when I move certain ways, it's literally like, and he's just like, nothing I can do about that. That's how it had to be. And it'll take like 6 or 7 months for those to dissolve. So that's one thing. And then the nodule above is the top portion of that. He showed me a picture of me with like my stomach open, like literally my insides, and where they drew the lines. So it was like a 4 to 5 inches of ab that they like pulled together, which is crazy. Like it does not feel like that. And it's just the lower portion that I guess was stretched to make it match the top portion, which I can tell you it doesn't feel like it's matching when I touch it, but I need to stop tripping. I'll get to the mental health part after this. But yeah, so then everything else I brought up, it's just like swelling. He's like, it's swelling. Everything's swelling. Like they won't take something as being an actual issue until the swelling is gone. Because I'm like, what about this hard part? What about that? And so it's like, okay, when is the swelling gone? And it's like 3 to something months. And then after he leaves, I asked the nurse, all right, so like if they have to do touch-ups, which is what they call them, touch-ups, which I signed a document that said like, if I need any touch-ups done within the first 6 months, I think I pay a small fee and they do it, but I don't have to pay like thousands of dollars. Well, she's like, oh, once the swelling's completely down at 4 months. And I don't know. I just feel like that's kind of some bullshit that they don't really take anything major into account until you're 4 months deep into it. And that only leaves you with 2 months to get different things scheduled to get fixed up before you have to pay like thousands of dollars. But whatever. I guess it works out for most people from what she was explaining to me. Like they'll literally, even if you're unhappy with like a little spot or something, like people who get lipo, like they'll go in and suck that little spot out or something. So that's that second doctor appointment. Today I'm feeling much more mobile, like just sitting down and getting up relatively easy. And well, that's it. Second doctor's appointment. And I talked about some other stuff. So let's talk mental health. Well, that's just fucked, right? My body's gone. I had issues with my body before that. Now it's just fucking gone. It sucks. Like it sucks. All right? Like it's just fucked up. All right? Like I know my way of thinking is skewed. I know that. You don't have to tell me that. But yeah, so like my body's all jacked up. My right side's bigger. I don't feel too confident in any of the shit the surgeons are saying. But I guess, yeah, of course there's going to be swelling. But it's just like the weirdest kind of swelling where it's like, it's still swollen. Or what doesn't feel super swollen in certain areas where I think I should be able to see my abs or see this or that. Because I was just seeing them. Where'd they go? And then there's like, I'm going to have to start up software developing again on Friday while I'm going through all this. I just don't even want to deal with, the mental with that. There's just a lot going on. And it's hard to fight those intrusive thoughts when your only defense is like, la da 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 da, trust the process. And I get it. Like, there are certain times where it's like, just trust the process. And I trust it because, like, I've gone through a cut. I've gone through a bulk. The end result worked. But, like, this whole thing just feels, maybe at the end I'll be like, well, I learned a lot from this, which was, motherfucker, you should have trusted the process. And, like, if a friend of mine gets the thing done, I can be like, I could reassure and say, I got these pictures, I look like shit. But at the end of it, this is where you're going to end up, or whatever. But I don't really have too much of that. So yeah, mentally it sucked, and that's why I want to say thank you to everyone who's been reaching out to me, saying supportful things, DMing me, telling me their own stories. the people who I talk to almost damn near every day, everyone that's kind of like looking out for me, so unexpected. Like if I rewinded the clock by months, it's just that wouldn't be a thing. So it helps a lot to have people saying stuff, even if they don't really know you. Even if it starts out as like, you dumb motherfucker, you already looked good. Why'd you do this? But it ends with, just talking or understanding. So yeah, thanks everyone. It means a lot. It's helped. With my mental, like, it's not like I'm just walking around like, fuck, like at the lowest level I could be. I'm just talking to you about like those low level moments, like where your thought wanders, where you're quiet, where maybe you're having a conversation with someone and your mind triggers a thought and it wanders off and you start falling down that hole and all of a sudden you're not talking. Like, that's what I mean, like when I'm getting in my own head. But it's not all the time. It's just like that portion does suck to have that. It's a little bit harder to fight through, but I've always won and I don't plan on losing, and I don't even understand why people give up. So, like, not to put anyone down, but my own mentality is like, giving up's never an option. No matter how freaking bad my life's been, things have been, it's just not an option. So I'm gonna make it through this process. Worst case scenario is the worst case scenario, and even from that scenario, I'll turn something out of it, because I always do. And that's the important main foundation to keep me going. Is like, I know I always do. Like, I was born, luckily, smarter than the smarties. You know what I'm saying? Tougher than the toughies, smarter than the smarties. Scrooge McDuck. Anyways, so that's the mental health of it. Let's talk about things moving forward. So moving forward, they're going to take this blood bag out of me when there's nothing else draining out. They think it should just be a few days, and then I'll go back in to the office and they'll take it out of me. My actual official follow-up is 1 month. I don't know if it's 1 month from yesterday or 1 month from the surgery. I'm working on my next mesocycle because there are certain, I can lift super lightweight and nothing that impacts my abs. So I'm going to be making almost an all dumbbell mesocycle, since I have like a whole set of dumbbells up to 80s, which I'm not going to be using anything near that. Like, I'm literally starting like 10 pounds on lifts where people are lifting 1 billion. But my thing is going to be, first off, if I feel any twinge of pain from a certain movement, I will change that movement. It's all about isolating these certain muscles. I ain't going to be doing sit-ups or anything that directly involves my abs, or any movements that utilize a ton of core. And I'm going to have super lightweight, and I am going to use the app that does my progressions. But if it wants me to progress to a weight I'm not comfortable with, I'm just going to switch it around so the actual progression will be in reps and sets. Because I mean, like, taking a 10 pounder and doing 4 sets of 25 with low rest in between, you're going to get a pump. You're going to get some sort of muscle building. You're not going to lose muscle. And I think that's the important thing, is just not losing muscle. And on top of that, I've been eating like shit so let's talk diet. I've been eating like shit for 2 weeks. So I wouldn't doubt that, which is probably fine. So I just dropped my little pen thing, which is probably fine because I'm healing. So having some sort of surplus plus all the protein that I eat has to be helping with that healing, because I'm giving my body what it needs to power, and I'm giving it the supplies to build with. So that's probably not that bad. But as it's building, it's also over here making fat. So that's not good. So that's why I'm going to, for my diet-wise, I'm going to be doing 1,500 to 1,500 calories, more like 1,500, 2 to 300 protein. Pretty much what I'd be eating during a cut for a little while there. And then I will adjust after I get a DEXA scan and see where I'm really at on fat levels. I just don't want to keep eating like shit. Like, this is the Wild West. There's no way that that's an answer, period. So that's what I'm going to do. My next DEXA is it was 4 weeks from the surgery, the Friday before the surgery. So it's like in 3 weeks, a little less. Because I made it 4 weeks out, and now I'll do another one 6 weeks out. Or 8 weeks out. I got to figure it out, because I want to get back on track and lined up with everything. So yeah. By week 3, I'll definitely be lifting. It will not be lifting in any form that you'd probably be thinking, but I'll be showing it. It'll be lifting enough. Like, if you know the science, it'll be enough. And it'll be a good way to, like, kind of get my body going again. And then I'm going to start eating on that diet that I mentioned. So that's it moving forward when it comes to diet and exercise. Mentally, what can I say? I'm just going to keep trucking. I have to. There's going to be super hard days, especially when I'm juggling all life stuff plus this stuff, and I can't look in the mirror and at least have like that one thing that's in my control. Like, I always feel like you got to work, you got to do all this shit. It's kind of like not in your control, but like your own health should be in your control. And it's really frustrating when you can't even find time to do that, because it's like your own health should be in your control. So that just kind of sucks. I can't just look at myself and be like, waka, whatever. Doo-doo-doo. I don't want to end this on a downer. Yo, all I'm trying to say is like, they be like, the mines are calling to me. Well, I'd be like,
The iron is calling to me.
Pump me. Pump me. Pump me.
sounded better in my mind. Because, you know, pumping iron. You get it? Where'd your mind go with that? All right, everyone. Thanks for your support. Thanks for talking to me. I don't know who would stick around till this late in the video, but thank you. That was a moment of silence. No. All right. See you guys later. Shazam!